Let's welcome our next fighter making his way to the cage, Philip Forteza!
Coming to the cage now, Philip Forteza. The 30-year-old stands a towering 6 feet, 3 inches tall. He's an orthodox fighter, hometown of Silmar, California, with Team Rise Above Fitness. He has a freestyle background. You know, interesting part about Philip Forteza, he's actually a martial arts filmmaker. He does choreography for martial arts films here in Hollywood. That's where he started his career. He always wanted to fight, and he found out that in entertainment, that's a way he could get a career based on fighting.
Very true. I do a lot of that myself, and I wish him all the best.
He started with traditional Kung Fu at 16 years old. Actually, if you want to go back even further, karate when he was at Burbank Montessori School. You know, Montessori schools also give you good training in grappling, so you have to learn how to get out of those beanbag chairs that they keep you at. He's also trained and competed in sport wushu over in China. When it comes to his fighting style, with putting all these things together, he says that everything flows, going from one technique to another. It's all about continuous action. When asked why he fights, he says, "I've never been in a street fight. Every great martial artist can talk their way out of a fight. This is the most real test I can have without being on the street."
And his opponent making his way to the cage, Ozzy Diaz!
And this might be the tallest fight of the night. Ozzy Diaz coming to the cage. The 22-year-old stands at 6 feet, 4 inches tall. A total fight height tonight of 12 feet, 7 inches tall. That's a tall fight. An orthodox fighter training with NZT Pankration here in Los Angeles. Lots of good combat experience. He has a North American Grappling Association experience in Las Vegas. Took first place in the heavyweight novice division at Grappling X. First place at the Naga West Coast no-gi in the novice division. So this guy has competed before.
Yeah, and he looks good. These guys are huge. They're probably going to pack a lot of power. You know, Ozzy's got some skills on the ground, even though it was novice division. You know, to win a tournament and get that confidence, and you know, and to go out there and actually compete is big.
Well, let's be honest. Once you're competing, a lot of those novices really aren't novices. You can call them novices, but they've got a high. You know, once you have even a year of jiu-jitsu under your belt, the learning curve is so fast in that first year. Those guys can be some straight killers, especially when competing, you know, with other people at their similar level.
Well, most people, well, not most people, a lot of people like something called sandbag, which means you go into a tournament when you should be doing intermediate, you do the division less because you think you're going to get some easier fights and get yourself a win. You know, and then that happens. That happens a lot.
So we'll see what happens. Ozzy Diaz with his jiu-jitsu background. Philip Forteza, though, with that karate, with the kung fu, with the wushu, you know, with all that choreography, we might see some pretty flashy stand-up from the 30-year-old fighter.
I hope so. I hope we see some cool stuff. We have 12 feet 7 inches of men in the grade, no.
And now to introduce this light heavyweight bout, let's turn it in to our ring announcer, Salvador Ariano.
Our next fight is brought to you by OTMFightShop.com. Scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the 205-pound division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter making his debut. He stands at 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighing at 204.2 pounds. Representing Rise Above from Silmar, California, Philip Forteza! And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, a Pankration fighter, also making his debut. He stands at 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighing at 206 pounds, fighting with NZT Pankration from downtown Los Angeles, Ozzy Diaz. Man in charge of the action, Mike Bell.
And you can hear that crowd roaring here for the hometown favorite, Ozzy Diaz. Here we go. Ozzy Diaz in the red corner, Philip Forteza in the blue corner. It starts here.
A little touch of gloves. Wow, Forteza got cracked with a huge overhand right.
You know, we know a lot about Forteza's stand-up training, and here's where we're going to get a chance to see what can he do in the grappling. So far, a good first exchange grappling-wise for Forteza. Diaz catching that kick, going for the double leg, doesn't get it though.
Doing a good job, you know, keeping it standing. Twice Ozzy went for a takedown, and twice Forteza kept it standing.
Forteza doing a good job of measuring and keeping distance. Both guys so far. That's the second time that overhand right, though, has caught the upper chin or upper cheek there of Forteza.
Only thing with Forteza I'm kind of noticing is when he throws his strikes, they're not really like they're not finishing type of strikes. They seem to be point-style strikes.
You know, especially with that wushu background, that can be the case, but a couple nice little left jabs there from Forteza. Ozzy Diaz, though, a counter overhand right.
Two really good knees to the midsection of Ozzy.
Oh, and some nice ground and pound here so far from Philip Forteza. Referee looking very, very closely at this one.
Ozzy's rocked. Ozzy is rocked. One of those shots got through and really connected really nicely.
Forteza, though,
wow,
showing some patience.
To stand him up when the guy, interesting. Well, this is where Forteza wants it.
And that overhand right lands a third time. You can see a nice welt beginning to develop on the upper cheek on the left-hand side of Philip Forteza, where Ozzy's landed that overhand right a good 3 or 4 times now.
And there is the round.
You know, Ozzy's finishing that one on top, but I think you got to give that round to Forteza.
You have to, just because the damage was done. He did some really good strikes, and when he got into he almost finished the fight. The overhand right was landing, but that was about it.
You know what I like here is that Forteza still seems very calm, standing upright. He's not breathing too deeply. Ozzy Diaz, though, sitting down.
Well, there's an age difference here. There's an 8-year age gap. You know, when you're 30 years old, you become a little more composed in your life, and a little like, you know, you figure some stuff out. 22, you're still figuring stuff out, even though, you know, you may have more, you know, actual competition background. It sometimes doesn't matter.
All right. All right, here we go. Round number 2, Ozzy Diaz in the blue, Philip Forteza in the red. Sorry, Ozzy Diaz in the red.
Wow.
Ozzy
Huge
Diaz,
right
big
hand.
overhand right, landed again, dropped Forteza. Forteza took a couple of big shots there as he went down. He sprung back up very quickly, but
I would have liked to see that keep going, but he was rocked very badly.
that was a sharp right, looked like a right cross actually, rather than overhand right.
Exactly.
You know, Ozzy's been landing that right hand all night. You might say that stoppage was a bit fast, but remember, we are here with amateur fighters. The #1 goal with these amateurs is to make sure that they stay safe. So you can't really hate on the referee too much for stopping what looked like a very dangerous situation.
You could just hate on the referee a little bit.
A little bit.
Not a lot, but you could hate on him a little bit because, you know, we like to see some wars.
Now, you got to think that Forteza was probably still in that fight. He did pop up very quickly after that stoppage, but he definitely also got the knees knocked out from under him by that right cross.
Yeah, that decent stoppage. You know, it's tough to tell because more damage could have been coming. You know, Forteza was getting rocked, and Diaz was swarming.
You know, Forteza was standing tall. That might have been the 5th or 6th right hand that had landed for Diaz. That was really the only strike he was landing, and it ended up being the finisher of the fight. Here we go with Salvador Arellano.
The third man in the ring, Mike Bell, brings the fight to a halt 8 seconds into the second round. Your winner by technical knockout, out of the red corner, Ozzy Diaz.
Give it up for him, downtown LA. This is your boy. Ozzy, congratulations winning in your backyard. You know, coming into the second round, it was anybody's fight. Did you know that you had to step up and come with that perfect overhand right?
Well, my coaches, Chenzo, Frank, they told me I trained really hard for this. The time is now. Don't leave it to the judges. Let's finish this. I trained too hard. I trained too hard for this fight.
Well done, sir. Look, you have a whole audience full of people who came here to love you. Tell them what you want to say.
I want to say thank you to everybody. First of all, I want to thank God. Without him, I wouldn't be here. My family, the Diaz family, all my family in Guatemala, everybody, NCT, I love you guys. California New Business Bureau, my coaches, I love everybody.
He loves everybody, and the University of MMA loves him back. Give it up for him, Ozzy Diaz!
A great round 2 TKO win here for Ozzy Diaz.
Yeah, you know, I like what he did with, you know, first round throwing a lot of overhand rights, and second round coming with a straight one down the pipe.
And that was the strike that finished it. A right hand right down the pipes for his debut win for the hometown favorite, Ozzy Diaz.
Nothing like winning in your hometown.